going to need a furniture truck?
You certainly can't have mine. What kind of skills do you have?
Someday, when I make it big in lower middle management, I'm gonna come back here and buy this crummy butt saloon.
I must ask you to hold still.
Told my manager, a man is not a slice of nanner, Mr. Overbeat. Then I said, I am more than some commonplace consumable item.
Antibiotics. Everything you'll need to get through your day. Whether it's an orifice or a face, Auntie's choice makes a cream for it.
Juliana. Oh, my Juliana. Even though I now rank among the Protectorate's foes, I hoped you would return to me. Every night I would sneak out of Fairfield, despite the danger, desperate to find you. Hoping you would see fit to join your wife. Yet no one has heard from you since you went to the Skycutter facility. Not in 2 weeks. I can only assume the worst. I don't think I can stay in this town any longer. Perhaps if I return to suffer the Protectorate's justice, I shall at least learn what became of you. And if you are gone, I hope I shall be executed. Then at least we shall be together.
Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice?
Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. You know, you might be right. I'm reliably certain I do not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
Spacers Ale, try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. For what ails you?
suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Spare me such timid drivel. We needn't waste time bandying lies. Of course, I know why you're really here. You have come to exact retribution for our larceny at your greenhouse. How coincidental. When we've finished here, your fellows will call your death the same. The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. I am merely quivering with rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it? You've got me there. Nothing enigmatical about a trio of Protectorate stowaways.
The more I listen to you invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. Spare me your insults. They mean less than nothing coming from the mouth of a corporate pet. I would sever my own hands at the wrist rather than sign a corporate contract. A generous offer, but we prefer to die in the service of the Sovereign. This was always going to end in blood.
Hug again.
Guess I had this mystery all along. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. I appreciate that. Never really talked about the direction of my thoughts on this topic with no one before. Wow, it's like I'm lighter. Thank you for everything. Truly.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
You can't spell heinous aesthetic without Auntie's choice.
I don't much mind sharing my rack. The sleeping in shifts sure beats bunking down in the mud. I do have my very own pillowcase. Negotiated hard for that. But I reckon I can make do with half rations.
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the dessert.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a liquor gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here?
This Moon Man character of yours, is he some kind of off-world deity?
No, just sort of a mascot.
I see. So, is it Auntie that you give your undying and unquestioning loyalty to then?
Not exactly.
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Obviously, as the result of the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. I don't know. I'm no scientician. Why are you asking? Who are you? An old acquaintance. How old? Do you know what happened to her that caused her such anguish it drove her to her present course of action? No. But even not knowing the details, I could see it troubled her. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. Among other things.
For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything. I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778. She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
literal, like when we told him to jump in a rift, do you? Even he...
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. That right. Earth Directorate. Not many would claim such affiliation these days. None from Arcadia have the knowledge to lie about it. What's your business at the Vox? Sounds serious. Were it in my power to offer aid, you'd have it. Alas. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Anti's forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. Foremost, I'd advise seeking a stealthier means of crossing the bridge. A direct approach is likely to repercuss in a hanging cage and a slow death, courtesy of that there warden. Our initial reconnaissance of the bridge indicated a breach in the western wall that could get you inside, though that was months ago. The intel could be outdated now. Schematics we managed to acquire also list an access tunnel on the eastern wall, but be wary of mines between here and there. The wire is full of unexploded ordnance. First Officer Schultz's decision to enter the minefield was not sanctioned, approved, or encouraged. Frankly, I have no idea why she defied orders. Schultz was a good soldier, admirable sense of duty, less than optimal eyesight. Her loss will be felt in this unit. If only she had recognized the merits of our post. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change. I half believed you meant that offer. Unless you weren't being playful. I confess, the challenge of holding the forward position does not satisfy, as might a straight-on tussle. But I would prefer to avoid staining my reputation by participating in such a needless blunder. Carr was, shall we say, non-ambiguous with her orders. Such an argument isn't as compelling as you believe. The soldier who does not consider defeat all but guarantees it. Far be it from me to speak poorly of a superior, but I have pondered over her choices as of late. She's been sullen about sharing her strategy, too. Still, however brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. She is my superior officer. I defied her once, and I received the verbal tanning of a lifetime for it. I'd thank you to affix some ballast to that name when you speak it. Scrabbles has been integral to this unit's success for years. Outsiders may see him as a toy, but we've bled alongside that stuffed sprat. He's damn near family. Schultz obviously knew the risks and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even Scrabble's power has limits. Still would help morale to get him back, though. I'll pardon your skepticism given your lack of acquaintance, and say only this. Ask not what Scrabbles achieves for us, but what we can achieve with him. Before you depart, a final word. Stay out of the minefield. I won't be the one who answers to Carr when the Protectorate mistake your rootless gallivanting for encroachment.
Gary? For the love of bits, don't get any closer to it. You void-brained idiot. Put down the bottle and stop doing stupid shit. Get away from there.
Ah, quit your worrying. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Gary! No! What am I gonna tell the commander? Wait, are your lamps busted? Don't go near it!
Ain't as tough as you thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Yeah? Well, I'm Trooper Silong. Inez, former combat medic, Enhanced Soldier Division. Now just a menial troubleshooter who looks to have gotten her job swept out from under her. They're always counting me out. Every single one of them. And now, they ain't even letting me finish the jobs they send me on. Kinda making it hard to prove myself here. And this rep didn't even have anything that could help my graft. This whole thing's a wash. Sick of it. I know, I ain't blaming you. That's part of climbing the ladder. Ain't but one rung at the bottom, and everyone's keen to get a foothold. Can't exactly afford to be picky about the jobs that come my way neither. Considering my condition, options are limited. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. Get the feeling you will. Anyhow, think I'll return to Fairfield to have a little chat with Milver Street. Good luck in there. Mind the wraps.